Hi there, welcome to the first video in my ancestral healing deep dive series. I am Reena Leva, a karmic energy healer and soul freedom coach. In my previous video, we talked about breaking free from karmic chains. We talked about the basic of karma. Today, we are going way deeper. I am going to show you something that will blow your mind about how ancestral patterns actually live in your physical body. What if I told you karma is not just some spiritual concept floating around in ether? What if I told you it is a real, measurable, biological roots? Modern science is finally catching up with what ancient healers have known for thousands of years. There is this field called epigenetic, and they have discovered something incredible. Trauma can actually change how genes work. And here is the kicker. These changes get passed down through generations. So think about this. If your grandmother lived through something really traumatic, war, starvation, persecution, her body response to that stress could literally be inherited by you. We are talking about your nervous system, how you respond to stress, and even what health issues shows up in your life. You know, scientists have documented these amazing studies. They have looked at families of Holocaust survivors. And guess what? The children and grandchildren have completely different stress hormone patterns than people whose family were not affected. They have found the same thing in descendants of feminine survival and people who lived through other historical traumas. This is not just in your head. It is actually passed down in your biology. Scientists call it transgenerational trauma, but I call it cellular karma. So, how does this actually show up in your body? Let me break it down for you. First, through your nervous system. You know those times when you completely overreacted to something? Like you feel way more scared or angry than situation called for? That might actually be your ancestor survival response playing out through you. These are responses that literally kept them alive during really challenging times. Second, through health issues that keep showing up in your family. Some conditions appear generation after generations. Yes, that's genetic involves, but there is something deeper happening. These represent unsolved trauma that is still trying to be healed. Throughout history, specific trauma have been linked to specific physical problem. And third, through random body sensation and emotions, that unexplained tightness in your chest, that anxiety that come out of nowhere in certain situations, that could be cellular memory from your family line responding to triggers that are similar to what your ancestor faced. Now you might be wondering, okay Reena, how do I know if I'm experiencing ancestral roots? Here is what I look for. Health issue that doctors can't explain or fix with regular treatments, especially if this issue seems to mirror historical experience your ancestor went through. Second, emotional or physical reaction that feel way bigger or older than your personal experience. Trauma specialists call these emotional flashbacks to events you never actually lived through. Body sensation that comes up when you are talking about family history or doing culture practices that connect you to your heritage. Area of your body that hold chronic tension no matter what your personal issue level is. Often these correspond to how trauma was historical held in your body. All of these are ways of your ancestors are speaking through your physical form, asking to be seen and healed after maybe centuries of harried pain. So let me share something personal with you. For years, I struggled with chronic throat problems and had this really hard time speaking up for myself in certain situations. When I discovered later that this was connected to my grandmother, who was actually punished for speaking out against authorities in her village. This was during a time when women's voices were not systematically silenced. Even though I was raised on completely different era where I was encouraged to express myself, my body was still carrying her fear of what happens when you use your voice. This shows up as reoccurring throat infections and voice problems, especially when I needed to advocate for myself in professional setting. Regular medical treatment barely touched But when I finally addressed this ancestral pattern through energy work, my physical symptoms started changing in the way that doctor could not explain. And here is what is fascinating. This connection between voice suppression and throat issue has been documented across many cultures throughout history. So once we understand that karma literally lives in our cells, which ancient healing tradition from India, China, and indigenous culture worldwide have been teaching for thousands of years, we can start healing at this deeper level. In the videos coming up, I am going to share specific technique for this healing that combine ancient wisdom with modern understanding. But for now, let me give you something simply to try. Put your hand on any area of your body that often feels tense or uncomfortable. Take some deep breath into this area and simply ask what ancestral wisdom or wound is held there. Then just stay open to whatever comes up. Sensation, images, lights, without judging any of it. This practice of body awareness has been used by healers across culture for thousands of years. Throughout this ancestral healing deep dive series, we are going to explore how to map your karmic family tree, heal specific mother and father wounds, and transform this pattern into gift for future generations. If you want to catch every single video in this life-changing series, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. I post new video weekly and each one builds on the last to create a complete system for ancestral healing. Are you ready to free yourself from patterns that have been running your life for generations? Because that is exactly what we are about to do. I will see you in next video. Namaste.